Hi, this is Tutor and this is quotes 144. Today we have a quote by Henry Ford. Okay, let's take a look at the note. Henry Ford was a great entrepreneur who started the Ford Motor Company. Ford was the first automobile company in the U.S. and I believe in the world, actually. And he is credited with creating the assembly line. Yes, a famous assembly line that's used today in most of the factories. I think he ended up reducing. I think before he did this, it took like over 12 hours to make a car, and he could do it with under 3 hours, about 2.5 hours, with the assembly line. So that in itself was a great creation. Anyway, let's look at his quote for the day. The main aim meaning the main goal, of the financiers is world control by the creation of inextinguishable debt. All right, so what is he talking about? All right, so let's look at it again. So the main aim, the main goal of the financiers. Who are the financiers? Financiers, they are bankers, special money interests that take part in large-scale financial operations. Yeah, basically they are, I might have mentioned in previous videos, they are the globalists. They're the ones that hope one day have a one-world government. Um, so even Henry Ford was talking about this way back. Remember he started his company in the early 1900s. So he was talking about that back then. He says the main aim of the finances is world control. It's the ones that people talk about today when they talk about NWO, New World Order. So this group, again, this financial group, has been leading us in that direction. And he knew this was the way that they planned to do it. Just like I said before, I know sometimes people think this is all conspiracy theory. But I've covered several presidents who also made quotes about the same people. I think I did one on Teddy Roosevelt before. And there are other quotes that I haven't covered, definitely ones by Kennedy, ones by Franklin Delano Roosevelt that also very clearly refer to this group. So the main aim of the finances is world control by the creation of inextinguishable debt. Or how do they do that? Well, they've taken control of most of the central banks of the entire world. Most people think central banks are actually controlled by their own personal governments. They're not. They're controlled by this private group. And this private group just lends money to the government. And they don't even have the money that they lend. They just print it up out of nowhere, which if we did it, it would be called counterfeiting. But they do it. And we're supposed to pay them back with interest. So that's basically the idea. And they don't want to ever really be paid back completely. They always want you in debt. Um, yeah, and we've seen this before. Every time, over the past, practically a couple hundred years, we've had a lot of financial crashes, going way back to the Depression time. They had their hand in that. They had a lot to do with that. And we've had kind of like a global reset several times. Remember, after World War II, we switched over where the British pound used to be the main currency of the world. Then we went to the U.S. dollar. That was another time that we actually kind of had a global reset. We had one in the 70s when Nixon took the U.S. off the gold standard. And we may be actually coming towards one soon, and we kind of hope that the same group of people will not be the ones that control it this time. But anyway, this is what he's saying. The main aim of the finances is world control by the creation of inextinguishable debt. Yeah, in recent years, ever since 2008, we definitely see this in Europe, where the pigs, they're all greatly in debt. But almost every country in Europe is in debt, and even the U.S. is in debt. Canada's in debt. Great Britain's in debt. Australia is in debt, and in Europe, everybody's in debt, and they're lending each other money that they don't have. So, and there's a lot of countries in recent years, like Greece. Greece wanted to basically go bankrupt, and no, we don't want you to go bankrupt. Here, you just have to. We'll just lend you more money again, and you'll have even more debt. But because we're lending you more money, you have to give us more control of your, any assets basically that you have. this is the way it's been working. So any of the countries that have would almost prefer to go bankrupt and start over and wipe out their debt, they don't want you to do that. No, you can't do that because it's inextinguishable debt. They don't want the debt to end because then that's how they control you. They kind of enslave the countries by doing this. They can tell the countries what they can do, what they can't do, and anytime the debt gets high enough, then they take more of their assets and more of their assets. That's what the whole point is. Henry Ford was warning us about this many, many years ago. He also made some other quotes that, if people really realized how the financial system worked, they'd, they'd probably rebel. That's another one of his quotes. That's not exact word for word, but that's another one of his quotes that he's famous for. All right. Well, anyway, I hope you got this one. I hope you understand it. Hope it was clear. Hope it was informative. Thank you for your time.